Hey Lash Babes, have you been wanting to become a lash artist? Make sure to check out my Yoyis Plus membership where you can have access to my online courses from beginner to advanced styling, all from the comfort of your own home. You also gain access to never before seen content not found on YouTube. Members also save up to 50% off lash products with free shipping. To learn how to save money and take your skills to the next level, make sure to check the description box down below for more information. Hey Lash Babes, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yoyis, and on my channel I teach you guys everything lash extensions. For today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create this beautiful eyeliner effect doing a fox eye look using L curl. And with today's products, I'm going to be using my own sensitive lash tape, these eye pads that are coming out very soon, London Lash primer and sealer. I'm also going to be using my collection of tweezers coming out very soon. I still don't have the names for it, but one of them is a 45 and another one is a small crane tweezer. I'm also using the Wash Me Baby Lash Shampoo, and for the star of the show, I am officially going to be using my glue called Obsess, and I do have a video unboxing and finally showing you guys these glues. I'm so excited to finally be doing an actual tutorial using my glue, and I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this. So definitely check out the link in the description for all these products. So again, everything's going to be linked in the description. And for the lashes, I'm going to be using the Lashbox LA and the L curl lengths 7 all the way to 12. So you guys already know that I have to start off by washing my clients' lashes no matter what. This is the one thing that I can't skip. And I know some of you are like, well, I don't have the time, or it takes time from me actually placing extensions. But no, I highly recommend for you guys to actually take 5 minutes out of your time to make sure that you are properly doing this step, because it is probably the reason why your lashes are not sticking, they're sliding, the glue is not bonding, and you're having a hard time throughout your application. So if you do this step, it's going to ensure that application is on point and your retention is on point. So even though your clients say they might have washed them, sometimes your clients are getting out of work, sometimes your clients are coming from the gym or running errands or dropping the kids off at school, whatever it is, sometimes they don't have the time to sit there and wash their lashes before their appointment. So that is one thing that I recommend, is for you guys to take the time to do it yourself. And if you guys are new here, I'm pretty much gonna drill it into your guys' head. In every one of my tutorials, I'm always talking about this step and why it's so important. So if you are looking for a good lash shampoo so you can clean your clients' lashes with, then I recommend for you to check out my Wash Me Baby. I also retail them. So if you guys are looking for a good retail lash shampoo so you guys can sell to your clients, I recommend for you guys to check out my website. Again, everything is in the description box, all the products, my website, and everything. Okay, so now that we have finished washing her, we're going to dry her off, and now we're going to place the eye pads. I love these eye pads so much because they are lint free, and the good thing about them is that they are super sticky. They are coming out very soon. I'm still currently working on my own brand of eye pads. So for the iPads, I do have a separate video on 3 ways how to properly place your iPads. But for this video, I'm not going to go too much into depth. You guys can pretty much see the way that I like to place my iPads. And once we are done with that, we're going to make sure that they are comfortable in the inner and outer corner. Because again, when your client closes their eyes, the iPads will shift into their eyes. So you want to make sure that it is completely comfortable. So again, I'm going to show you guys, and I'm only going to tape the tip of the bottom of her lashes, and that way the tape at the top is the one that is doing all the work. You never want to place the iPads too close to the water line, because then it's going to end up shifting and then moving and getting inside her eye. So if you are struggling with red eyes after your appointment, then I recommend for you to be careful by the way that you are placing the iPads, because that can potentially damage your client's eyes. So you want to make sure that that everything is nice and comfortable. It's not poking her. Everything looks good. The inner and outer corner lashes are not poking up or hiding. So now I'm going to go in with the London Lash Primer. Any primer will do at this point. Anything that has alcohol. Most primers out there do have alcohol. And what alcohol does is that it dries the natural lashes a little bit more. That way the glue bonds a lot better. So this is not an essential step, or it's not necessary, but at least for me, I know that it makes a huge difference in my retention and the way that the glue holds onto that lash. So obviously I recommend it because it helps me. So as you can see, I'm fully saturating those natural lashes and making sure that all her natural lashes have primer on it. Once we are done with that, we're going to fan her out. You never want to start placing the glue with wet lashes. So now I'm going to start mapping, and I'm going to do a really different map compared to what I normally do. So I like to section it off right in the middle because that's where I'm going to start placing the longer lengths. So as you can see, I know I kind of skipped through it really fast, but I'm going to slow it down here for you guys. But I'm going to do 11, 12, and then bring it back down 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. So 9, 8, 7 are going to have the longer sections because I want the smallest sections or the smallest lengths to be throughout the entire lash line. And as you can see, I'm only focusing the longer lengths on the outside, but I'm not going to do a huge dramatic flick at the end, even though that's what we're going for, but we're still sticking with shorter lengths. So now I'm going to grab a piece of tape. I'm going to fold the end of one of them to pretty much make a little flap, and then I'm going to end up taping it on the outer corner of her lashes or her eyelid, because we are starting off in the outer corners. The way you start this set, it's pretty much gonna make or break the way your entire set looks. So I'm gonna focus on the outer corners. The reason why I'm taping her eyelids up like this is that way the outer corners are exposed a little bit more and I'm able to get in there a lot better. So I'm going to be using a flower cup, and I'm also going to be shaking my glue. I can't stop looking at it. It's so cute. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on my glue. Again, this is the Obsess glue, so it is a 0.5 to 1 second. So if you are a beginner, I recommend for you guys to get the Bestie glue because that one is 1 to 2 seconds, so it's a little bit slower. But because I am an advanced artist, I like a faster glue. So this is where I'm talking about that it's going to make or break your set. Where you start off is very important. So I'm going to start off in section 12, and I'm going to start placing the longer lashes. So pretty much what we're doing is pretty much just grabbing the lashes right off the strip, and we are creating spikes. So we're not going to fan out the lashes. We're not doing none of that. So we're pretty much grabbing about 8 to 10B lashes, and then we're going to create a spike. Literally just what I'm showing you guys. It's easy as that. So you want to make sure you are using a tweezer with a good grip. That way that spike does not open up on you. And then we're just going to start placing them. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing back and forth on both eyes. We are working on both eyes at the same time. So as you can see, I am directing that lash where I want it to go. We are going to be directing it going more towards the outside. So we want it to flick out, and again, I'm pretty much holding it to make sure that it's in the direction I want it to go. So because I am only recording one eye at a time, I couldn't really show you guys that I'm actually working on both eyes at the same time, but you guys will see that I do make a lot of inserts or clips here, and I'm pretty much working on both eyes at the same time. So don't be working on one eye doing this technique because you're gonna get all those lashes stuck together. So I promise you guys, I'm working on both eyes at the same time. So what you do on one eye, you're going to go do the exact same thing on the other eye. I don't want you guys to rush this process because this is where the attention is going to go in. You want to make sure that you are pretty much only focusing on the outsides. Right now, we're only placing spikes. Even though they do look a little feathered, a little opened at the top, it's okay. But make sure that you are not actually doing fans. You're making them look more like spikes. But if they're feathered, it's okay. So right now, it only looks like I'm placing it every other lash, but in the end, I end up coming back and fixing everything. So I'm pretty much just only focusing on the lashes that I can easily get in there. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to come back and start filling her up a little bit more. So don't be afraid to really get in there and get all the lashes. So the numbers on the iPads, that is the length that we are using. So if it says 11, we're going to place an 11 millimeter. And if it says 10, we're going to place a 10 millimeter. It does not mean the size of the spike, it means the length. So as you guys can see, I'm pretty much just working my way from the outer corner to the inner corner. And again, because we are trying to create that eyeliner look, we want to be placing the longer lengths on the outside. And as you can see, I did bring it back down to an 11 on the outer corner because I wanted to kind of bring back in and not look so sharp. So if you want it to look extra sharp, then just take away the 11 on the outer corner and keep it a 12 millimeter. But as you guys can see, I'm literally just going back and forth. And again, I am going back and forth between both eyes, so don't be alarmed. And that is pretty much what I'm doing. So I'm going to add some music here for you guys so you guys can enjoy this process. And then I'll be right back when I'm ready to get started on the next part.
To impress, no stress, though they're waiting. I keep them waiting. Makeup on fleek, high heels, ripped jeans, they're all waiting. I'm on my way. Looking in the mirror at myself like who that? Swag on 1,000 and my girls got my back. We just wanna party, call me tequila shawty. We just wanna party, yeah. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. When my friends pull around and they got the top down, on our way, yeah. We're on our way. Turn that music up, you know we don't give a what. On our way, yeah. We're on our way. Pull up to the party like my name is the life. Tension so thick, you could cut with a knife. Ask me how I do that. Been fly since way back. Ask me how I do that. Yeah. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. Hands to the sky if you feelin' a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing. Put your hands to the sky if you catchin' a vibe. We ain't gonna stop for nothing. Yeah, you can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on. You can bring your friends, we won't mind it. We just came to dance and go all night long. The look in your eyes, you can't hide it. Ooh, baby, I know I turn you on.
Okay, so you guys can see I'm literally just going back and forth between these last sections and making sure that I'm fully filling her up 100%. That means no baby lashes, just the medium to the adult ones. And as you guys can see, I pretty much stopped up until I got to section 9. Once I get to section 9, I'm going to start creating fans from the middle to all the way to the inner corner, but pretty much all on the outside. I'm only placing spikes. Even though I keep telling you guys it looks a little feathered, it's okay. We just don't want super dramatic fans. So that's pretty much all I'm doing. I quickly wanted to mention that I still am directing the spikes to be facing going towards the outer corner. So again, we're redirecting the way that we are placing those lashes out to the outer corner, because again, we are creating an eyeliner effect or eyeliner look with the lashes. So you want to redirect the lashes going to the outer, not completely placing flat going to the left or to the right. We just want to make sure that they are kind of just flowing with each other naturally and going in the same direction. So you don't want spikes going to the right, you don't want spikes going to the left. You want to make sure that all those outer corner lashes or extensions are facing in the same direction, meaning that they are tilted a little bit towards the outer corners. So that is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that I'm redirecting them, making sure that those spikes are making it look like it has an eyeliner effect towards the outer corner, more like a fox eye, you know, that fox eye train that's going around. So that's pretty much all I'm doing, and I'm just making sure that I'm filling her up in those last outer corner sections, so section 11, 12, 11, and 10. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm creating spikes. I'm adding spikes all throughout the outer corners, redirecting them so they are pointing towards the outer corners. So this part of the set is pretty much the most tedious, because you are making sure that they are redirecting them towards the outer corners. Once we are done, we're going to check our work and see how it looks. So as you guys can see, they look a little funky, so we're pretty much just going to brush them out. I'm brushing them out towards the outer corners again because we want it to look like it's a winged liner look. So I'm just brushing them, making sure that they don't look too fanned out. Everything looks nice in order. So again, if you are going for a more dramatic flick at the end, then we're gonna end up doing 12s instead of 11. So now I'm showing you guys how I make my fans. So I like to shimmy, and technically this is part of the flower bouquet technique. So I'm pretty much just grabbing my tweezers and taking the lashes back and forth. And as you can see, I opened up those lashes to create a fan. I am obsessed with my tweezers, and I can't wait to launch them for you guys. So I'm not going to go too much into depth, but this is pretty much how I create my fans nowadays. And using a flower cup is such a huge game changer, because as you guys saw, it just made sure that that base came together and it just looks nice and snatched. Such a beautiful fan. So that is pretty much what I'm doing for the rest of the set. Everything from lengths 9, 8, and 7. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to start placing fans all throughout. And again, I am going back and forth between both eyes. You never want to work only on one eye at a time, because that's when stickies happen, especially when you are going back to back to back and placing those lashes right next to the next one, like how I'm showing you guys here. Again, it's just the way that I edit my videos, because I only record one eye during the process, because when I record both eyes at the same time, you can't really see up close the way that I record. So the only way that I can record this close up is to only record one eye at a time. So again, I am going back and forth and making sure that when I place that extension, I give it enough time. So by the time that I come back from placing another extension on the other eye, that extension that I recently placed, it's already dry, especially because I am using Obsessed, my glue, and that glue is 0.5 to 1 second dry time. So it dries down pretty fast. So that means you do have to work pretty fast. So that's why I only recommend it if you guys are a little more advanced, if you guys have been lashing for 6 months and up. So if you're still undecisive of what glue, which ones are my glues you guys would like to get, then definitely check out the video where I go more into depth about my glues, and I will have it linked for you guys so you guys can have a better idea what glue best suits your needs, especially your skills. So here's another angle up close for you guys. Again, like I mentioned, I'm only able to record one eye at a time, so I'm recording the other eye at a different angle, and I am just obsessed the way that this L curl lashes bonds to her natural lashes. I just love the way that it bonds to her natural lashes, because again, an L curl is very, very flat at the base, and then it points straight up like an L shape. So if you are struggling with somebody that has very, very straight lashes that point straight down, and you can't seem to have really good retention with that person, it's probably the curl that you are using on them. I recommend for you to start using an L curl. There's even an LD, LC, and that gives it more of a natural curl, but again, with still a straight base. And honestly, with this model that I have here that I'm working on her, I was using C curl for the longest time, and C curl is still pretty, it still has a curl, but it's not as curly as a D curl. And she used to get D curl, and for some reason, I just could not get any good retention on her, even though she recommended, and not recommended, she requested D curl. And I would do it because I kind of wanted to please her, but at the same time, like, I just don't like how D curl is not holding on you. So I switched her over to C curl, and it was holding a little bit better. But then again, she was going through some crazy stuff in her life. And again, if you guys don't know, stress does affect your client's retention. If your client is going through some crazy stuff in her life, and if you're wondering why her lashes are not lasting, it can be because of the stress she is going through. So back to what I was saying, she was going through some stuff, and no matter what curl I was using on her, they just were not lasting. And this time around, she asked me if I can do an L curl. And I was kind of amazed because I'm like, wait a minute, like, I thought about it and I was just like, yeah, I think that would be a better fit for you. And she was the one that actually wanted to try out this look. She kept begging me for a while, let's do this look, let's do this look. So I finally took her in as a model, and I am surprised because, guys, it's been 2-3 weeks already and her lashes have not lasted this well in such a long time. And I strongly believe, one, because it was my glue that I'm using, and two, because of the curl of this L curl extension. So if you are somebody that has been struggling with getting good retention on somebody that has very, very straight lashes, and no matter what curl you're using on them, it does not hold or last, then I recommend for you guys to switch them over to an L curl, LD or LC, depending on the kind of look you are going for. So I am going to start doing a lot more looks using the L type of lashes if you guys are interested in it, especially for those clients who can't seem to hold extensions that well. But honestly, guys, I am obsessed with L curl ever since I found out that my client's retention has been on point. Honestly, can you guys look at that? Can you see how it's starting to take shape? Oh, I'm so excited for you guys to see the final reveal after you guys do this whole entire process. So yes, like I was saying, you guys just want to make sure you guys are using the correct curl for you guys' clients. And if you guys have to switch over to an L curl, then do it. I know it's a little dramatic, especially because it comes straight up at an angle and it just looks a little funky, but it's such a beautiful curl to be using, especially if you're trying to recreate this winged liner look. This type of curl or style looks really beautiful on somebody with very almond eyes or big protruding eyes, or even big eyes. I would probably not do this type of look on somebody that has very hooded eyes or very mature women, somebody that has downturned eyes, because it's going to make their eyes look heavier. So not this style won't look good on everybody. So just keep that in mind if you do try to recreate this and it doesn't look flattering on your model or your client. But it's good to be able to play around with these types of styles and these type of lashes and see what works best for your clients. So as you guys can see, I'm literally just working my way in and just going back and forth between both eyes, making sure that I'm giving that extension that I just placed enough time to dry. So I know I've been talking for a little too long now, so I'm going to add some more music so you guys can enjoy the rest of the process, and I will get back to you guys.
Fired all of the bullets. Yeah, you shot me through the heart. Casting dice and roulette. The game was set right from the start. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna know, I don't want it anymore. I don't wanna go, don't wanna know, but I keep coming back for more. Crashing down and into the rain. All things are burning up in flames. We're going under. Bang bang like thunder. Bang bang like thunder. Crashing down and into the rain.
Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm finishing up the inner corners. I like to work my way from the outer corners to the inner corners, especially when doing this type of effect, because you have a little more control of the way that it's going to look. So now I'm just working, finishing off, doing the last bit of the inner corners. And as you guys did see, I used my tape to pretty much expose and pretty much help move those lashes out towards the outer corner so it can pretty much expose the inner corners. I do have a taping methods video where I go more into depth in this if you guys are interested. And for the size of my fans, I don't think I mentioned them. I am using 0.03 lashes, so they technically are mega volume lashes, but you can create your fans as thick as you want them to. And I think the biggest that I was doing them was about 10 to 15D, meaning that I wasn't creating such huge fans. I was still keeping them pretty tiny, as you guys can see. And I just love the way that the bases on this L curl looks. They're just so snatched and just, oh, they make me so happy. So now that we are done with the inner corners, pretty much we are done with the entire set. Now we're gonna brush them out and pretty much just push the lashes in the direction that you want them to go. So I'm making sure that everything is nice and fluffed out, everything looks good, and that is pretty much it. We're gonna finish off using Super Bonder. I am taking a micro brush and I'm just gonna work the product in on the bases only. You don't want to soak the entire lash line. You want to have enough product that you're wetting the bases, not soaking them. So the whole point of Super Bonder is to fully cure the glue, and this is going to ensure that your retention is better, the glue lasts longer, and your client doesn't get any kind of reaction, meaning that their eyes are not going to be burning after their appointment. So they're able to get their lashes wet right away. They're able to go to the pool, go to the sauna, work out, do whatever they want. So now I'm just double checking and you can already see the way it's looking. I'm so obsessed. If I had shorter lengths like 6 and 5, I would have probably went a little bit shorter on the inner corners, but I'm still really happy the way that this turned out. And that is pretty much it. If you guys do recreate this look, make sure to tag me on Instagram, any kind of social media. I have everything linked down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on future content. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media as well. I'm so happy I recreated this look for you guys, and I hope you guys can recreate it as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.